Huh? French Montana just dropped his second album. He's got the world talking. I don't want to spend too much time on this because the album itself doesn't have that much of a point to it. And if anything, just leads me to come to my hypothesis that I've developed, years ago, where I was just like, French Montana should just be a DJ. I'll explain my point in a little bit, but second album, and it's called I forgot the name. Jungle Rules. French Montana is an artist that I wouldn't necessarily put in the category of a lyricist, of a great performer, as a rapper, or as someone that I feel like is great for features. We never really get the opportunity that often to see French Montana really have a shining moment when it comes to rap music or doing anything significant in the culture. He's always responsible for some pretty incredible feats, like the track with Swae called Unforgettable, which really is an unforgettable track. I think it's an amazing track. Swae's performance on that thing is awesome, but again, on that track, French Montana comes across more of a DJ and less of an artist. That's kind of what the album is, though. It's kind of like a compilation of work from other people, and French Montana is rarely shown making a starlight performance on his own album. Put it like this, French Montana sounds like a feature on all of his own songs. You're just waiting for that other rapper to come in, but they never come. It's just French for the remainder of the song, which in my opinion is vindication for me to believe that he should just become a DJ. He clearly has an ear for music. He clearly knows what's hot in the street because he's got tracks on here like Unforgettable, a couple dance hall-esque tracks, some more pop-infused tracks. French Montana actually knows the core of his audience. He knows what people want to hear. He's just not the best person to convey his own message, unfortunately, and that's what you have other people for. I can give kudos and respect to the producers that push his voice to this new level that French Montana is on, because I feel like he feels more confident with all the auto-tune that he's using on his voice on some of these tracks, and even on the track Hotel Bathroom, which in my opinion I thought was going to be a banger when I heard it. Going into the first 10 seconds of Hotel Bathroom, I thought it was going to be a great song, but immediately French confirms my fears by not having that much to add to the track. Although I get the message behind the track, hearing a song where French Montana is rapping about sex is just like, yeah, I can watch this thing, but it just feels wrong. It just feels weird. That's just my opinion. I mean, French Montana, in my opinion, is the uncle to rap music. He's the one that you're embarrassed to show in front of everybody, because when he says something, it's like he says it and expects it to be so hard-hitting and emotional sometimes, but then when it's not, everybody's just sitting there looking like... Not to say what he said was from a bad place or that it wasn't a good message, but from the delivery and from the person, it's just like, can you get somebody else to say what you want to say? Become a DJ. I can appreciate him putting artists like Alkaline on this thing, and even on the intro where there are tracks on here that feel a little bit more lighter, a little bit more Caribbean infested. They have a much more subtle vibe that allows for you to respect it more for the track that it's trying to be, as opposed to it forcing this vibe on you because it wants to be something that's been popularized by people like Drake, by people like Tory Lanez, or people who want to really expose this culture and kind of make a profit from it. Not saying that those artists are doing it because they just want money, but I feel like a lot of artists that do this kind of music that incorporates an island vibe, they don't do it that well, or when they try to do it, it just comes across as lackluster to the point where it has no context or meaning to the actual album that it's on, so you're wondering why it was put on there in the first place. A question that I will ask myself about this album, but again, French Montana does it a little bit more subtly, and I don't notice it as much, so it comes across as a little bit more of a good intention, or a person who just really wants to put somebody on a Caribbean music for a second. This is a very clear example of what I try to say when I say that French Montana doesn't have that much to offer on his own tracks, is because on the track that features T.I., we see French Montana go with a flow for a very long time, and then when T.I. comes into the song, we hear immediate flow switches, we hear immediate cadence switches, we hear immediate flows within the beat. He's really riding the beat on this one, T.I. is, and although I don't really care for the song and I love the instrumental, I notice how different the skill gap is between someone who's rapping like T.I. and somebody who's rapping like French Montana. And French Montana unfortunately doesn't make use of everything in his arsenal, because he's got a track on here that Pharrell produced, he's got a track on here that features Quavo, and he just takes this opportunity to make a song that Quavo's probably made 100 times in the past. Not to say that it's a horrible song, but I know you've all heard a song like this where Quavo is rapping like this already. I love that French Montana's relationship with Max B is still intact, because he's still being included on tracks, even on like a Weeknd feature, which I thought was just great. Although, like I said, I didn't think I needed the Max B feature. I thought it was still great knowing that that relationship between the two is still tight, and the Weeknd didn't do too bad on the track that he was featured it on either. I thought his flow went on for a little bit too long, a little bit longer than I would have liked for it to, but I don't think it killed the song or anything, and I can definitely see people liking this song. I know why a music video was created for it, and it further acknowledges my point that French Montana knows what his audience wants to hear. Another track on here that I love is Jump, that features Travis Scott, but it's ruined because Travis has nothing to say and neither does French Montana, so for this track it's just like, get a better rapper! I think the most disappointing track on here is the one that Pharrell, I think, produces, and God, man, this beat has so much potential, and I feel like French Montana could have took it so much further than he really did. Like, I like the track, but I was still disappointed by it at the same time because I felt like he could have done so much more with it. That is essentially, though, how I feel about French Montana. He's an artist that I feel like is capable of much more than he actually delivers on a lot of his own tracks, which is why, in my opinion, he comes across as more of a feature on his own songs and more of a DJ coming in with the or the auto-tune where he really doesn't need to, or just speaking in general when he doesn't need to be there. French, if you're watching this, just become a DJ, okay? You can be just as successful as people like DJ Montana. Whoa, what the fuck? You can be just as successful as people like DJ Khaled or DJ Drama. Like, dude, you can legit do this. Become a DJ, start producing, get a bunch of other rappers to say what you want them to say, and you can make crazy money. But what you're doing here, you're doing extra work when you don't need to. This is not your thing. That being said, I think the beats on this thing are great. I think a lot of his production is great. I love a lot of the features, although there are a good amount of songs on here that I'm just like, you just don't need this. It just comes across as a compilation of songs more than it does a cohesive body of work that contains any kind of message or anything. Because when you have this many features, you gotta wonder, a bunch of people are rapping about their own thing. They're gonna take the songs in different directions, so you can't have a cohesive message with this many features. French Montana, Jungle, what was the name of the album again? Jungle Rules. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the album. I found some good things and some bad things out of it. It wasn't horrible, it wasn't great, but it's definitely a decent listen. And if you like French Montana, go ahead and give this thing a listen and give it a try because it's definitely something that I would recommend. I just went on for a tangent at the end for no reason. I don't know why I did that. It's something I would recommend it to you with. It's something I would definitely recommend as a recommended play. I would recommend this to someone who isn't a DJ. Wow, what the? Why can't I speak? I would recommend this song, this album, to a non-French Montana fan for their personal enjoyment. There you go. See, that's what happens when you finally use your brain for one. It's been Shawn C. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a big thumbs up. Who is texting me? Hope you enjoyed the album. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's been Shawn C, your boy, and I'm out. Peace.